The story behind SILAï starts with a book, a vintage publication with an illustrated explanation of different hand stitches, which I discussed with Mapi Milegan's art director at our first meeting back in 2009 when the idea for SILAï came about. The word SILAï means small stitches in the Hindi language. My idea was to play with the scale of the traditional stitching techniques in order to draw attention to its intricacies and make tangible the handcrafted nature of the collection. Embroidery is something that reminds me of my own childhood. It's an accessible craft handed down from grandmothers to younger generations the world over. After deciding on a suitable backing mesh, we identified 10 different stitches which were subsequently reduced to a final 4, which could be combined easily with one another. I took my inspiration from the golden section to create the rug and establish a hierarchical relationship between the various elements of the SILAï collection, the poufs, rugs, cushions and tables, so that no matter how they were arranged, there would always be a harmonious relationship between the different parts. The rug provides the main framework for the collection. The different elements can then slot into the squares and rectangles defined by the different stitches. The color scheme for the stitching was inspired by the pastel shades of traditional cement floor tiles. There are 4 color groupings that can be combined together in order to create harmonious or contrasting chromatic compositions. I worked these out carefully in collaboration with the interior designer Annick Off. The entire collection is light and mobile, allowing for easy assembly depending on the circumstances, whether it is a solitary individual moment of calm or a family gathering with numerous participants. The cushions are 2-sided, featuring different stitches with a collar border that provide variety through the simple act of turning. The low oak table is grooved to mimic the embroidered stitching techniques and complements the rug's main square, which itself was inspired by the canework of old-fashioned chairs. In fact, the rug can be seen as a piece of furniture, a link between the space and the way it's used, expressed in modern and contemporary colors. The entire collection helping to create a sense of well-being by forming an enveloping cocoon.